Two.
Hello.
Hey guys, what's going on?
Hi. Hey, we're going to talk about something today that we get questions on quite a bit, how to pick your brand position. You know, because one of the greatest fears that entrepreneurs have when it comes to business is fear of focus. And when you don't have focus, it's awfully difficult to know how to position yourself in your industry. Mm-hmm. I mean, you know, sometimes just the mention of choosing a niche.
Oh, people get violent about it.
Right. They do. It can instantly bring on a case of hives.
Turn down business?
So because they think that choosing a niche will box them in and they'll leave too much money on the table. But sadly, that kind of attitude just results in them doing nothing to stand out.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah. So how do you choose a niche for your business? In other words, how do you pick a brand position? That's what we call it. It's what we've been calling it for nearly 9 years. It's not as restrictive as you have been led to believe. Today, we're going to be sharing with you 6 main categories of differentiation that we ought to consider when we are positioning our clients for personal branding. Before we get started, make sure to tap that subscribe button. In fact, we'll pause for a minute while y'all go ahead and do it. Go ahead and hit it right now. Go ahead and press it.
Pause,
all right?
pause.
And that way you'll be right the first to know when we create a lot of great content that helps you differentiate yourself and get out of that sea of sameness, guys.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's get to the list here. Okay. So 6 ways that you can differentiate yourself or position yourself differently in your industry. Some people might refer to this as niching down, however you like to pronounce that.
Should be niching up.
Okay. Well, he says niche. I say niche. I say tomorrow. He says French. Tomato, whatever.
Okay. So tomorrow.
Here we go. So the very first way that a lot of people position themselves is by their geographic area. Okay. So if you want to be known for super serving a specific area or community, just make sure you are extremely knowledgeable in this area, because this whole position is based on knowledge of the area. Actually, this one's used in the real estate industry quite a bit, like San Diego's real estate expert, Houston's real estate expert, things like that. Obviously not always those same words, but you get the idea.
Yeah, or in like cars, I would say, like, you know, Cobb County Toyota, for instance.
Exactly.
In Cobb County. You already know that.
Yep.
Yeah, here's the good and the bad about positioning yourself as an expert in a specific area. First of all, it's one of the most common types of positioning. So when you're going for differentiation, you're already sort of behind the 8 ball. And it can also leave you vulnerable to your competition if your only point of differentiation is the area that you are working.
Yep.
Okay. So hundreds or thousands of others can claim the exact same thing. All of your competitors, in fact, could claim the same thing. But if you also showcase other things that set you apart, then this option can be both focused and meaningful. So it is possible to use it. You just have to put a little more thought into it. Second, if you move to another area, effectively, you've got to completely rebrand, no matter what you're doing. So if you go this route, you just want to make sure that the place where you are branding yourself as a specific area is a place you intend to stay.
Okay. Yep. All right. Number 2 is customer type. So the type of customer you serve is one way that you can position yourself. And this position is one that most people think of first when they think of choosing a niche, right? They think of, okay, what kind of customer am I serving? But this is the category that most of the time seems to bring the most fear, because they think, well, if I say I'm doing business with customer A, customer B, C, and D will write me off. They will not want to work with me anymore.
Yeah, but let's assume you're a business coach and you decided to focus your efforts on working with clients who own small businesses, and you need help like hiring virtual staff, let's just say, and to grow from 6 figures to 7 figures and still go on a 3-week vacation with their family. Mm-hmm. Well, that doesn't mean you will never work with small business owner who doesn't want any virtual team members.
Nope.
It just means that you nailed the ones you're trying to speak to.
Exactly. It just means that you're not going to spend your time and money marketing to people that don't want virtual team members, if that's your focus, right?
That's where she's talking to you people that say, exactly. I don't have any ROI on my marketing.
Very true. Very true. So think about this. You'll naturally get other types of customers from fringe business or referrals because people will just be naturally attracted to you, the way you work, the things about you. And even if they're not in that niche of people that you're trying to hone in on and zone in on, then they still might want to do business with you. You're going to get that. And then if you do business right, if you put your brand out there consistently to attract exactly who you're trying to attract and get more of those people, then you have the ability to say to those fringe people that may not fit that profile for you that, hey, you know what? I could help you, but I've got a friend over here that works with people exactly like you. And actually it would be a better fit. You can get a referral fee off of it a lot of times and also put the person where they get better service from somebody who's better aligned with what they want to do. Doesn't mean you have to do that. It's just another option because if you can pass a name and get a referral fee, why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you?
That is exactly right.
If you intend to only work with the kind of people that you want to attract every single day.
Yeah,
there are options.
Let me show another example of that. It would be HVAC units. I used to own an HVAC company, and we specialize in fixing and repairing, not replacing. If we couldn't fix it or repair it, then we pass it on to a sister company that another friend owned because that's all they did was installations. Every time we sold one, we made money off of it. Right. Yeah. But that wasn't our niche customer or niche.
Either one.
All right, number 3, product or service. Okay. So this is the other way to differentiate yourself when you're thinking about this. Another valid position is to specialize in a specific product or service that you are offering, but only if your product and your service is very different from others in your industry. Are y'all seeing the theme we're trying to lay down for you right here? Be different. If you're a coach or a consultant and you help people repair their credit or keep their marriage together or invest in real estate, whatever you do, make sure that you are doing it differently. You're not just a coach.
Yeah, because it just makes sense. Anybody can be known for selling a specific product or service like HVAC, right? You haven't set yourself apart yet if you just tell people what you offer. It's
because all your competitors offer.
Right. So ask yourself this. Have you created a specific system or a formula that's different from other similar products? Or does your product have specific ingredients or is made by a different process than your competitors? Think about ways to differentiate yourself within that product or service, because only then will it make any sense.
Right. And make you stand out. Right.
Yeah.
For instance, there are many people in the world that do personal branding. We're not the only company that does that. That's providing a service. There's other people that provide that service. There's other people who claim they provide that service that don't provide that service because they don't understand what personal branding service really is. But here's how we're different. Number 1, we're the most comprehensive personal brand building system across the globe. That's inarguable. Number 2, we consider 77 different criteria when we build personal brands. Inarguable. Number 3, the 3D freedom formula that we created, which goes beyond the fluff and provides a step-by-step actual formula for building a personal brand, makes us different, sets us apart. None of our competitors that even might think about personal branding are different like that, like we are. We can go on and on.
Yeah, exactly. So, all right, that moves us into number 4, which is experience. You could position yourself by the amount or type of experience that you have. And few things speak louder than experience. Okay. But we're not necessarily talking about the amount of time. We're also talking about your story and why that's important to your prospect. So when I was in media, so many of my clients wanted to make sure their commercials mentioned the number of years they've been in business. And literally I told them nobody cared. Okay. And I still believe that. Because it's not the why. It's not the why. It's like, I've been doing this for so many years. Okay, so tell me the last time you made a decision solely because, well, like all else being equal, maybe you could say, okay, well, these people are equal and these people have been in it for 35 years and this one just started last week. Okay, you got a case in point. But other than that, no.
Right. Many of your competitors can boast a number of years of experience in a particular business. It's not the amount of time, but what type of experience that you have had and what you have learned throughout that experience and what it means to your customer. Those are the things that differentiate you. Be prepared to connect the dots and tell people why your experience matters.
Yeah. So I'm going to use him for an example here. Okay. On a lot of his marketing materials, it says over 78,000 homes sold. Well, first of all, that's quite a feat. People are taken aback by that. It's what we call the disruptor, right? It's like, how does that even happen? And in fact, he has sold more homes than any other single person in history. Okay. But it's the why that matters more, right? The experience that comes from being involved in that many sales means you're dealing with not just Michael, but all the people that Michael has taught and mentored and brought into his team. They now have a lot of that knowledge. That means you're dealing with pros who can handle virtually any situation. In other words, he tells his prospects, here's why that matters to you. Yes, I've done this, but here's why that matters to you.
Because they're really only interested in how that matters to them.
Exactly.
They don't care that I've sold over 78,000 transactions. They care about their transaction. So you got to tie that in of why that is important to them. Okay. Now, when you're differentiating yourself, number 5 is attributes. You can use attributes to say, this is how I'm different. We often use this type of position with people who are new to an industry because they can't tout some kind of experience. Since they do not have it, they may not even have that kind of
specific skill set,
experiential knowledge, I'd like to say, in the industry. Then their competitors may have that and be able to showcase themselves differently, right? And when that happens, we focus on individual attributes. Don't set these aside. Individual attributes can set anybody apart, both personally and professionally, that would appeal to the type of customer that you're trying to speak to. Okay.
Yeah. Exactly. So some people may be driven and persistent, for example, thus satisfying a client's needs or desire to get things done quickly, right? That might be important to somebody. Others may motivate you, inspire you, or provide a positive experience, giving a client great confidence in their journey and transaction. So some people might pay great attention to detail.
Yeah. Well, before I go any further, I got to give a shout out to the Sasquatch of the Appalachian Trail, Chandos Williams, because he's not going to quit leaving me alone if I don't give him a shout out. He's also not a turkey hunter, by the way. He'll act like he's a turkey hunter, but he's like, okay.
Hey, Chandos.
Hey, Chandos Williams. All right. Some people may pay great attention to detail, and their customers appreciate knowing that they don't have to stand over their shoulders and that the job will be done correctly. And the key with this position is authenticity. Very important. Be who you are every day and use these strong personal attributes that you have to attract the clients that appreciate that. And they are out there, a lot of them. No matter what industry that you're in, you can find more than you can get to if you do it like we're showing you, okay?
Yeah, exactly. All right, the final one, the way to position yourself is through your expertise. This category focuses on your knowledge in a specific area of business. Now, note I didn't say field, right? Not your field, but a specific area of a field of business. Okay. So for instance, our good friend, Dave Foster.
Hello, Dave.
Hey, Dave. He's an expert in 1031 exchanges in the real estate space. Now, he could have positioned himself as an investment expert or a real estate expert, but how many competitors would he have then?
Right.
Instead, he chose to niche down further and become well known in the 1031 space.
Yeah, just like literally, especially, period.
Exactly.
And you can position yourself, if you're new to an industry, by focusing on an expertise from your past. Okay, think about that. Because you might be getting into something new. What is it in your past that positioned you perfectly for what you're doing right now?
Yeah. For instance, if you're a coach, let's say you're a coach who works with Ironman athletes, right? And you haven't been a coach your whole life, but you do have experience in training and nutrition that helped you excel in competitive sports. And that past expertise can position you perfectly to coach others to do the same. So it's utilizing that past expertise, even if it's not in the field you're in right now, there is a relationship to that.
Yep. And the expertise position can be extremely powerful. Probably one of the most powerful approaches to differentiation, because it focuses on expertise that is exclusive to you and you only. We're all different, right? And as in all of the categories, the type of expertise that you bring to the table should match your ideal customer's wants or needs. Then you're speaking directly to that person.
Yep. Okay, guys, so let's wrap this up. It's how to pick your brand position. It's a thing that stumps a lot of people. And today we've given you our main 6 categories for how we help people decide how to position themselves differently in their industry. Okay. And so let's wrap it up by recalling those real quick. Number 1, in a geographic area. 2, customer type. 3, product or service. 4, experience. 5, attributes. And 6, expertise. All right. So that leads us to this. If you're ready to take your brand to the next level, Michael and I want to help you.
We're ready to.
Go to discussyourbrand.com and fill out a short form, not a shoot form. Don't shoot us. Fill out a short form, and that's going to give us some more information so we're better prepared to help you on that call. All you got to do is take the first step, guys, because creating or building a personal brand correctly teaches people how to treat you.
It does. Trust us on that. You need to take that first step, discussyourbrand.com. It'll be the best step you ever made. It was for me as an entrepreneur and a business owner when I met this lovely lady right here, and it is the key to everything. And look, we bring value for this just like this every week. We really seriously want to show you how to do it. So please hit the subscribe. I'm going to pause again. Hit subscribe. Go ahead. Right. So you can hear it first and you'll know about it. You know, guys, listen, we do this for prosperity because we preach it. When we talk about prosperity, we're not just talking about money. We're talking about the full 360 of an abundant life that we truly wish for every one of y'all. We know here at Brand Face that prosperity favors the bold. So we say, be bold, folks, especially with your brand, especially in 2022. And thank you, Miss Tanya.
Thank you, Michael. And thank you guys for sticking with us, especially you, Chandos.
Yeah, you too, Chando. Even you, Chandos.
All right, guys. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.